Yeah, we broke like Applebee's and Boston Market. We crushed Tijuana Flats and those Cracker Barrel crates. Killed Red Lobster, BDQ2, TGI Fridays, Jack, I caught you. Burning down Danny's like a grand slam. Sniff Smith and Mom Pizza, I can't help myself, man. Detroit Outback Steakhouse and Hardee's to my delight. That's how we ruin the country like.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. You ever heard of a barstool conservative? It's a term for somebody who is a sports guy who doesn't really care about politics much, reads barstool sports, cares about professional sports leagues like a lot, and the culture around them. And if that culture is affected, like the greater overall bro culture is affected, then that individual, generally that man, is somebody who then is activated, right, politically. But you have to like F with NFL games like during COVID, right? Or you have to F with like the rules around these games to really like affect that style of conservative. This is a story for them, okay? This is a story for the barstool conservative bros, okay? And I don't really care how bad things need to get for you to come on over into the camp and wear the red hat and vote for Donald Trump. If this is the story that animates you, then good. Okay, good. Hooters abruptly shutters 40 locations as restaurant crisis deepens. Oh yeah, baby. Hooters is going down. And not in a good way. Hooters, known for its scantily clad waitresses, is the latest restaurant chain to abruptly shutter locations. Like other struggling chains, such as Red Lobster's, Hooters is blaming rising cost of rent and food. A raft of closures happened over the weekend, while others happened in recent weeks, including locations in Florida, Kentucky, Rhode Island, Texas, and Virginia. The company is not thought to be in dire financial situation like Red Lobster, which filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. In fact, bosses said the 41-year-old brand remains highly resilient and relevant. However, they have had to shut down over 40 locations. So this is never a sign of a strong company, right? So if your business is doing great, you don't shut down 40 locations. Now, this doesn't mean that they're going to go bankrupt overnight. But this means that something in the economy is breaking Hooters. Something is causing a cleavage to happen between Hooters and their customers. I'm sorry. Just doing my breast over here. Like many restaurants under pressure from current market conditions, Hooters has made the difficult decision to close a select number of underperforming stores, a spokesperson said. Market conditions, well, what does that mean? That means people aren't going out and spending money. It means people aren't going out and buying food at their favorite restaurant. And there's plenty of dudes whose Hooters is their favorite restaurant. We look forward to continuing to serve our guests at home and on the go and at our restaurants here in the U.S. and around the globe. Hooters will have about 300 restaurants globally after the closures. That's down from 333 in 2018. Rivals Dave & Buster's and Miller Ale House and Twin Peaks all have more restaurants. So is this the end of Hooters? Restaurants have been putting up prices over the past couple of years. They pass on the higher cost to consumers, and these price hikes has led to a fall in visitors, even to Hooters. Big chains like Applebee's, TGI Fridays, Boston Market, all have recently shuttered restaurants, as have smaller chains like BurgerFi. Hooters, though, is, honestly, a iconic American staple, depending on where you're from, and it's being hit also by California's $20 minimum wage. Hooters in California is also closing down. Hooters waitresses are finding this out live.
Oreos. All right, that's it.
When you go to work just to find out that the Hooters location closed and you no longer have a job. A lot of Hooters waitresses are posting actual crying videos on their social media like this. When you've worked at Hooters for almost 2 years and they decide to close down your store and fire everybody at 8 in the morning. Here's some of these Hooters waitresses, and they're crying. sobbing in the video. Look, you can see her crying. Like you can see she's sad, I think, right? Like they're sad. She's sad. And they're not happy about it, right? Their livelihood's over. Depending on whether you darken the door of Hooters or whether you deign to go into Hooters. These are people's jobs. Me trying to figure out how they called us into the morning shift and said our Hooters got closed down for good. So these women are, again, like, upset.
They shooting at Taco Bell. That's crazy. Good morning. How you gonna sound like shooting up Taco Bell?
Like, again, let's we can leave the moralizing. This is a good time to say that I am not a frequent guest of Hooters. I don't think there's a Hooters around where I live. Okay, but again, like, these are people's jobs. These are people's careers. Presumably the waitresses and the people who worked there made good money, and now they're out of a job.
Hard to be celebrating $20 an hour when thousands of jobs are being lost every single day. For the people that advocated for this, I hope you understood what $20 an hour meant. It meant a lot of costs going up, and a lot of restaurants are starting to close down because they cannot afford to continue to run their business here in California. Due to the rising costs to operate a company, just add Hooters to the list of many restaurant chains that are closing down because they cannot afford to keep up with the costs in order for them to operate in a profitable manner here in California. So Hooters, Chili's, Rubio's just announced they'll be closing down a ton of their chain stores. I believe Pizza Hut got rid of all their delivery drivers. This is just a line of 10,000 plus jobs that were lost when they started implementing the $20 an hour minimum wage law here in California. So here's the thing, even though $20 an hour sounds great for fast food workers, the problem behind that is when there's no jobs, what's the point of implementing a law that ended up getting a ton of companies to close down and no longer operate here in California?
So, duh. I mean, good for you for saying it, but duh. You can see the horrors that this has wrought on the restaurant industry in California that was doing just fine. I know people in the restaurant industry in California. They were doing great, actually. Iconic is not just Hooters, okay? This isn't just like a brand you may agree or disagree with or deign or darken the door of. Doesn't matter. Like, did anybody have any problem with Arby's, especially iconic Arby's like this one that had been featured in a bunch of movies, like right here on Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood for 55 years? Shut down after California's minimum wage. A beloved San Francisco McDonald's shut down after California's minimum wage, after 30 years. 30 years. Look at this, In-N-Out Burger. The first ever closure of a In-N-Out Burger in California. Now, this one was due to rampant crime, but nonetheless, in California, the In-N-Out Burger has never closed a single location. California destroyed that record. And tons of other brands are having to jack up their prices just to try and survive in California. McDonald's, Burger King, Chipotle, Wendy's, Starbucks, Taco Bell, Fat Burger, Vitality Bowls, Chick-fil-A, Shake Shack. They're all having to jack up their prices just to stop this from happening. Beloved fast food chain closes after becoming the first victim of California's $20 minimum wage, called Rubio's Coastal Grill. Oh my, so you're hurting minority jobs? Rubio's is a south of the border grill, and now it's done. Now it's done for. Now it's finished. Pizza Hut just abruptly closed 15 locations and hundreds more due to the economy. Obviously, the economy, these Pizza Huts were closed in the Midwest, so this is expanding outside of California. California is just like the pressure cooker. California is the canary in the coal mine. What's going to happen to restaurants all across the country? Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many brands that are closing hundreds of locations. Some of them dozens of locations at a time, including Cracker Barrel, Applebee's, TGI Fridays, Denny's, Boston Market, Red Lobster, Mod Pizza, PDQ, Outback Steakhouse, Hardee's, Tijuana Flats, and now add Hooters to the list.
Dining casualty. Hooters has announced plans to close a select number of underperforming restaurants. The exact number is not known. The shutdowns are blamed on current market conditions with rising costs and less people dining out. Hooters has about 300 restaurants across the U.S. 7 are here in California. This follows a wave of closures and financial troubles hitting casual dining brands like Applebee's, Outback Steakhouse, and Red Lobster.
And they never ever tell you like the actual culprit. Troubles. What are the troubles? The troubles are the Democrat Party. So just say it. The troubles are Marxists who wish to regulate costs and wages instead of letting the free market do that. Hey, idiots, you know what happens when somebody is not paid enough at another restaurant? Another restaurant hires them for more money and then they leave. That is actually a really nice market regulator. But people across the internet obviously commenting on Hooters being closed down. This guy saying, the closure is obviously because of the amount of alcohol sales. Nobody's going out for beers anymore. Nobody can afford that. That used to be a luxury you would do after work. You go out to get a drink, you go out to get a beer. The jack up on that's the premium cost price jack up, especially at a place like Hooters. And now it is no more, ladies and gentlemen. Now it is no more. Now she's out of a job. Look what you've done. Look what you've done, Democrats. Now she's out of a job. How do you sleep at night? I don't know. I'm not sure. I couldn't imagine having all these people who already work like lower wage industry and manual labor jobs, because waitering and waitressing is a manual labor job. It's a physical job. It's really tough. Have you ever waitered or waitressed before? I certainly have. I've never heard like that going home, like after a double shift, right? On your feet, like carrying really heavy trays. Like it's like a physical job. And you like get those people are already working tough jobs and got tough lives, and then you take away their job. How do you sleep at night? You people are monsters. You're monsters. The Hooters girls deserve better. Ladies and gentlemen, we're fighting on this channel for the Hooters girls and for all workers, actually. Okay, we're here for all Americans. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe as we keep up the fight. It's your boy Ben. See ya.